you want me to get arrested? It's not just going to take my First Amendment. It's not just enough to take my First Amendment. Oh, he'll beat me up.
I didn't say that.
He didn't know who I am, but he's so mad. You're not going to silence me. You're not going to silence America.
But there are people.
You are.
Hey, it's me, and welcome to Trump Mafia. Now, as you know, if you follow Trump Mafia, I don't like Marco Rubio, and I've made many videos against him, especially in 2016. He's part of the Rhino Club, Trey Gowdy, Lindsey Graham, the dead John McCain, Jeff Flake, those kind of people. But I will have to say that he had an alpha male moment when he was there with Alex Jones ranting and heckling. And if you really listen to what Marco Rubio was saying to the girl that was asking all these questions about free speech and all of that, Marco Rubio came out with the right answers. That is, you want the free market to work. You don't want regulation. And also, these companies should not be using their position to stifle the free speech of people under the guise of going after foreign interference. And that is the conservative position. That is my position. But it's Alex Jones, in fact, that had been calling for regulation of Facebook and YouTube for months and months and months, and that is the socialist position. That's the Obama position. That's the net neutrality position. That is China. So it's kind of funny to hear this heckling idiot talking about, hey, you're doing what China's doing, while he himself had been calling for China-like regulations on Facebook and YouTube for almost a year. So it's saying one thing and saying another, and he doesn't even know that he's contradicting himself, or he knows, or he doesn't care. But you have to really pay attention here. It's how these people act. Alex Jones is no different from some of those hecklers at the Kavanaugh hearings, ranting and raving, and he even called Marco Rubio a frat boy, which is the exact term that liberals have been using on Brett Kavanaugh not so long ago, and looking at pictures of Kavanaugh saying, look, he's a frat boy. Now you have Alex Jones calling Marco Rubio a frat boy. So he's really trying to appeal to liberals, which is kind of odd because he's there pretending he's conservative and talking about Rush Limbaugh. Trust me, Rush Limbaugh wants nothing to do with Alex Jones. And Rush Limbaugh is a true conservative, so like me, he can see right through Alex Jones. We're talking about a liberal who is doing an act. And as I mentioned with regulation, it's a tell. If you're for regulation, you're not a conservative, period. But so this confrontation was also this kind of alpha moment for Marco Rubio. I mean, he didn't have to say, look, I don't need the police, I'll take care of you myself. And that's cool. I mean, let's be honest, it's cool. Okay, what he said. And Alex Jones did not expect that. He was like, what? But, I mean, look at that. A ranting, heckling lunatic. It's just like those liberal protesters. That's not what conservatives do. As I've said, Alex Jones is not a conservative. He's a liberal doing an act, and he knows just what to say to fool people. It's kind of like Trey Gowdy or John McCain. And, you know, you have Trey Gowdy saying the right things in hearings, and people are like, wow, this guy is really great. Look, he's going against Hillary. But in fact, what he does is really protect Hillary for like 10 years. And you can look at Alex Jones when you really analyze everything that he's been talking about. He's been anti-law enforcement. He's been anti-military. I mean, he's pretty much a liberal in every aspect. But, okay, you talk about the Second Amendment. You push those buttons a lot of people go, oh wow, he's a real conservative. And it's kind of sad, because that's how hacks like Trey Gowdy and even Steve Bannon get a following. But if you look at Steve Bannon, he was CEO of a global warming company. He at one time had a company with Harvey Weinstein, yeah, that guy, selling DVDs. So we're talking about hacks that are really liberal, but they know how to manipulate conservatives. And sadly, a lot of people fall for it, just like with that Q moron. It's pushing all the buttons, but if you pay attention, they start coming out with a lot of liberal craziness, and people just lap it up. Glenn Beck, another one, and he really showed his liberal heart in 2016, and then recently he's like putting on a Trump hat and saying, I'm all for Trump now. But really, these are liberals with gimmicks, always trying to hijack the Tea Party movement, then the Trump movement. But these are not real conservatives, you can tell. And you had Glenn Beck there, and he's looking at Mark Zuckerberg. Ah, he's a real man. I'm like, what? And so Alex Jones is there, and I don't see any difference between Code Pink or some of these other hecklers that were there at the Kavanaugh hearing and Alex Jones. It's an embarrassment, because the left can say, look, that's a conservative. That's how conservatives are. And it's quite the opposite. But as you know, with the Trump Nation expanding to such an extent, you have a lot of liberals that are morphing into the Trump Nation, or you have a lot of libertarians, liberals with gimmicks, and so you have a mixed bag. So it's true, with a great expansion of the Trump Nation, it means we also get a rabble, a bunch of gypsies, and people that are much more liberal, or they act liberal, and they're like burning Nike shoes. I don't like what Nike did, but I'm with Trump. They can do what they want. They're a private business. And people burning shoes, it's like how liberals are beheading statues. I am never in favor of that. It's kind of stupid, right? Why are you going to burn shoes? It's not going to make a difference. It's a liberal thing to do. Like I said, we have many liberals now in our giant GOP tent, the Trump Nation, I call it. And so I guess we have to live with people like that. But that's okay. We'll educate them as we go along. But really, Alex Jones is proving every day now that he's kind of like a freaky liberal, and it's almost like liberals hate him because they know he's a liberal who is not in the right mode, right? He's like going against some of their top issues, and that is because he's trying to leech off the Trump movement. But just the other month, he was saying F Trump and F his family. Now, who would ever say that if you ever voted for Trump? How could you ever even think that or say it? It wouldn't even come up in your whole body and mind. But the guy just comes out and says that. That's why I know he was always a fake. Alex Jones is a fake, and he's a liberal. There's no doubt about it. And Marco Rubio, he's a rhino. Let's be honest, he's a rhino. On the other hand, he's really trying to improve. And it could be if John McCain's deader than dead, Jeff Flake is moving out, Lindsey Graham's trying to suck up to President Trump, so is Marco Rubio. Even people in Congress will start to change. As it is now, Trump already has 90% support in Congress and in the GOP. A lot of people are completely loyal to the Trump Nation, the Trump agenda, and President Donald J. Trump. But I'm talking about swamp creatures here, right? So they smell an opportunity. Sometimes they're doing it for their own good. But I'm talking about more than that. Because when you see Lindsey Graham, he's like for tariffs on China and other nations. I never thought I would ever see that from Lindsey Graham. Now that he supports Trump on foreign policies and judges, that I can understand. It's pretty normal. It's typical Lindsey Graham, right? That's his thing. But to see some of these changes in some of these people in Congress, it's a good sign. And we're only at the beginning, right? So the first year, many of them thought maybe Trump won't last. Maybe they thought there really was something to the collusion. But now they know it's all a farce. And it's kind of like the second stage. The third stage will be freedom. That all of these people in Congress have full power and they're all in with the Trump nation. And then we will see even more changes to our nation and even an additional new justice. A third one picked by President Trump. I mean, that would be amazing. So we're all looking at our watch and seeing when Ruth will finally kick the bucket. And I mean, it's too bad we have to think like that, but really, it really matters to our nation. So, like I always say, you know, it's like submit to the Trump nation or die. No, that's not what I said. I said submit to the Trump nation or shut up. And Marco Rubio, Lindsey Graham, many other people, maybe they weren't on board. And now they have to, because their survival depends on it. And you see people, even in the media, Mark Levin, a real never-Trumper, like one of the real never-Trumpers of 2016, now he's like defending Trump. And the other day I heard him list all the accomplishments, and he was gushing about President Donald J. Trump. And this guy was a never-Trumper. And, you know, a lot of people are waking up to the fact that we have a winner president, and the changes and the results are spectacular, amazing, wonderful, awesome. And why would you not want to be a part of history? Because this is historic. So heroes step up and losers get exposed. And hey, now, I'm sorry if you were a fan, if you are a fan, but Alex Jones is one of the losers that has been exposed. And he's claiming to be a victim, like all liberals do, and he broke the house rules of a private company and their website. He thought they would never delete him. Well, they did it. And so he gets help from Drudge Report, from a liberal like Matt Drudge. Why? Because Matt Drudge knows that Alex Jones and all of that, it's kind of like a Trojan horse, and a lot of liberalism comes out disguised as conservatism, like regulation, for example. But I will say that the true censorship is all those individuals, people that don't have vitamin business like Alex Jones that brings in millions of dollars. I mean, that's his real business. The political stuff, it's just a way to market and to get people to buy your vitamins. I'm talking about just individuals that are posting videos or they're online, they get deleted. They don't have Matt Drudge to talk about it. And that's real censorship, because they did not break the house rules. They did not make fun of kids being killed or whatnot. And they still got deleted, and nobody knows about it. They're the invisible men and women that have been censored that don't have a voice. Whereas Alex Jones has been a liberal hack, and he's really a liberal with gimmicks, posing as a conservative. Even his ex-wife said Alex Jones has always been a liberal, and I believe her because I can see it, and you should too. And he broke the house rules. It's not like they suddenly deleted him. He was there for more than 10 years putting out outrageous stuff that got other people deleted, but he always stayed on. And he paid Google for views. So don't tell me he was really censored. He broke the house rules. Don't compare it to all those Americans that do get censored and nobody ever knows about it because they don't have a voice. So I couldn't care less about Alex Jones. His vitamin business is unaffected. His freedom of speech is unaffected. He can post on his website. He's now using that tranny, Paul Watson, to put out InfoWars stuff. And he has many other places where he's posting stuff. I mean, his freedom of speech has not been affected. But more important, his multi-million-dollar vitamin business has not been affected, and that's his real job. So please, if you're one of those people that are like addicted to InfoWars, or you're a creature of habit, you know, God bless you, but it's time you wake up about this loser, Alex Jones.
Say, all right, all right, all right.